Tokyo. 2 in the morning. You are at the convenience store near your apartment because you cannot sleep and you need water. You have been in Japan for 2 years. You know this store. You know the clerk. You know the smell of it at 2 in the morning. Tonight is exactly like every other night. Until it is not. The sound first. Not loud. Quiet. A specific kind of quiet transaction, the sound of an envelope changing hands. You almost do not hear it. Your hand is on a water bottle. You look up. At the end of the aisle, a man in a dark suit. Facing another man shorter, nervous. A delivery worker's jacket. The suited man is passing an envelope. The other man is taking it. Neither of them sees you. The suited man's face, angled away, partially visible. You see enough. Your phone. You do not know why. You have never done anything like this before. You are a 30-year-old English teacher who cannot sleep and needed water. Your phone is already in your hand. It was in your hand when you came in. Your thumb moves. The camera opens. You take the photo. The sound of the shutter. On your phone, the shutter sound is on. You forgot. The sound is small. In a convenience store at 2 in the morning, it is enormous. You do not run. Running would be worse. You walk carefully, the water bottle still in your hand, to the counter. You pay. You walk out. Your apartment. You lock the door. You sit on the floor. Your phone is in your hand. The photo is on the screen. You should delete it. You know you should delete it. Your thumb moves to the delete button. Your thumb stops. The next morning. The news. On your phone, on the train to school. A body found near Shinjuku Station. A delivery worker. The photograph of the victim, the delivery jacket, is the same jacket. You are now a witness to the last known contact of a dead man. You have a photo of the person who gave him whatever was in that envelope. This is the story of the 72 hours after that photo. What happened? What I did. What I should have done differently. But first, who he is. Because understanding what you saw requires understanding what kind of man you are. Back at your apartment. You have a name partial. From the news article about the dead delivery worker, Watanabe. You type it into Google. Nothing useful comes back. You call your friend Keita, the only Japanese person you know well enough to ask something like this. You tell him half of it. What Keita tells you. There are people in Tokyo who operate in the space between official and unofficial, who arrange things, who move money. The man you saw sounds like a facilitator, not Yakuza, not police. Something in between. The next morning, he is outside your school again. Same position, same suit, same newspaper. He is not reading the newspaper. You understand what this is. This is not surveillance. Surveillance hides itself. He wants you to know he is there. He is telling you something without saying it. The photo. You go through it again. Software developer logic. You are not a software developer, but you think like one. What do I have? What does he want? What leverage exists in either direction? He knows where you work. He knows your schedule. He has done nothing. For 2 days, nothing. Which means he is waiting for something. The question is, what is he waiting for you to do? Going to police. You waited 2 days. With a photo of a person of interest in a murder. Every hour makes that harder to explain. Deleting it. You have looked at this option every day. Your thumb has been on the delete button 17 times. You have not pressed it. The photo stays. You do not know why. Day 3. He is not outside your school. You check twice. Once at lunch, once after the last class. The position on the pavement where he stood. Empty. Your apartment building. You come home from school and you check the lobby. You have started doing this. You check before you turn the corner. You check before you press the elevator button. You do not respond to the message. You do not sleep. At 11 at night, your doorbell rings. You open the door. You do not know why. Later you will understand. You opened it because the not knowing was worse than the knowing. He says, someone else was in that store. Someone who saw you take it. They are not me. They have different interests than I do. He turns to leave. You say, why are you telling me this? He stops. He does not turn around. He says, because I did not ask for a witness. You close the door. You stand in your apartment. 48 hours. You have 48 hours before the person who is not Watanabe decides what to do about you. You call Kaida again. You tell him everything, the warning. The 48 hours. The other person in the store you cannot identify. Detective Onda. You meet him at a cafe near Sanganjaya, his choice, neutral territory. He is retired. He does not take notes. He listens with his eyes. He knows the man. Not his name, his role. A facilitator. The man who makes introductions between people who cannot be introduced officially. The photo makes you a liability. Not to Watanabe. To whoever hired him. The burner phone. You buy it at an electronics shop in Akihabara cash, no ID required for prepaid. You have 40 minutes before you need to make the decision. You stand outside the electronics shop. Your regular phone, the photo is gone. The burner phone, the photo is on it. You have separated the object from the liability. 48 hours. Delete the photo and leave Tokyo, that is the plan. But first, who else was in that store? Who saw James take the photo? And if he leaves, does leaving make him safer? Or does it just confirm to someone that he knows something worth running from? You go to a park near Shinjuku. Open area, you can see anyone approaching. You send the photo from the burner phone to Detective Honda's personal number. Anonymous. No cover message. The plane ticket. London Heathrow. Departing in 19 hours. You book it at an internet cafe, cash at the counter. A booth in the back. Screen facing the wall. Narita Airport. 4 a.m. The earliest possible departure. The terminal is nearly empty. The fluorescent lights are the same color as inside a convenience store. You board. You find your seat window, row 23. You put your bag in the overhead. You sit down. You do not look at who is in seat 23B. You do not look at who is in seat 23B. You will not look for the entire 11-hour flight. You will look out the window. Below. Tokyo. The lights going slowly away. London. Heathrow. The arrivals hall. You have been here 100 times. It smells like England. You have never been so glad to smell England. 3 months later, you have not gone back to Tokyo. You have not heard from Honda. You have not heard from Watanabe. The silence is its own kind of answer or its own kind of question. What you know. You were in a convenience store in Tokyo at 2 a.m. You saw something. You took a photo. You gave it to someone who could use it, and then you left. You do not know if that was cowardice or the only reasonable thing. One message. From a number you do not recognize. It arrived the morning after you landed in London. Just a photo. A Tokyo street in daylight. Ordinary. No caption. No follow-up. That is the story. Drop a comment. Would you have deleted the photo? Sent it to Honda? Left Tokyo? Or something else entirely? Subscribe. The next story is already waiting. And it is worse.